All right, good afternoon. From the Office of the Human Rights Defenders and Access to Justice Advocate Center, 93 Allen Avenue, Ikeja branch. And for those of you meeting me for the first time, I'm Queen Solution. I will have a case of unlawful adoption reported by Okele Ruth against Mr. Francis Obata. Is it Obata?
Okputu.
Okutu. Okay, please join us as we interview for a peaceful resolution. And subscribe to our YouTube channel on Access to Justice TV and follow us on our Facebook page on Human Rights Defenders and Access to Justice Advocate Center. For other information, you can visit our website on www.hrdac.org.ng. Don't forget to follow on TikTok for other social discussion. TikTok, that is Palace Gist and Center for Justice. Please follow there, like. For issue of visa, some of you contacting me for issue of visa, we don't discuss that on the human rights page. That is where other all necessary information will be passed to you there, and also on our YouTube. Thank you. Can we change the lights? Okay, let's hear you out. What is your complaint?
All right, ma'am. I have a little sister who is 15 years old. She
Your
was,
name?
my name is Ruth Okele.
Okay, okay.
I'm from Cross River State, but based in Lagos State.
How long
So
have you been in Lagos?
I've been in Lagos over 7 years now.
7 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm working as a house help. I came to Lagos to work as a house help. So I have a little sister who I'm taking care of. She was in the village before going to school. So I got a lot of complaint from her through my grandma that she's not doing well. So I got a complaint
Talk loud.
every day complaint. So I told her to come over here where I am working in Lagos, that she can go to school. And I have an agent who told me
You are
that
disturbing this line. You are disturbing the line. Please stop. Go ahead.
I have an agent who always give me work to do as a house help. So he suggests I should bring the girl to his house and he will find a woman for her to stay with and be going to school while she's with her. So I told the man,
You have
okay,
an agent.
yes, the
Who did
agent,
what?
Mr. Francis Okputu,
Yeah.
is the one that always take care of me when I was little. So
Umisha Day, how are you? Good morning from here. Hope you are doing great. Go ahead.
so I brought her to Lagos to stay with him to go to school. So he took her to go and sign up as a house help, which that was not the plan. Because I don't want my sister, because she's still a little girl, she cannot be working as house help. So my own is that she should go to school, not to be working as house help. So that is why I brought her to come and stay with me and be going to school, not as house help. So the man, Mr. Francis Okutu, took her to sign as a house help. I gave him 1 month to bring back my sister. He refused. And I went there personally on my off day. That was last month. I went there to meet him in his house, to take me where to meet where my sister is. So he refused. I told him to give me the woman's number where my sister is staying with. He gave me the wrong number. He didn't give me the woman's number. So I've been calling this woman number from last month. It's not going through. And Mr. Francis is telling me that the girl, he will go and bring the girl December. And I cannot allow the girl to stay there wherever she is December, because she needs to go back to school. She needs to go back to the village. So now this is what we are talking about with this man. He refused to go and bring the girl. That is why I'm looking for justice. I need the girl back. I don't know if she's all right. I've not been hearing from this girl from over 3 months now, ma. She's over 3 months. I've not been hearing from her. I don't know if she's all right. This is a little child I am talking about, ma. A child of 15 years old.
15 or 16? Are you
15.
revealing the age?
No, ma, 15 years old, ma. She's 15.
How old are you?
I'm 23, ma.
Eh?
23.
23. She
Yes.
or direct younger one?
Yes, ma.
So you that is working, you said how long you have stayed in Lagos for how many
For
years?
7 years, ma.
7 years. Then you also came to Lagos as a minor. When
Yeah.
you were still a minor when you came and you were doing house help inside. So what makes your own sister different when you came and you're working as a house help?
I have a reason because my mom died when I was 13 years old. So
Mm.
she left her for me and she's my responsibility. Our father is not somebody that always take care of us right from the one my mom died.
Mm.
So I'm the only one who is standing. My brother is not somebody who cares as well. So I cannot risk this because of house help. That's the reason why I talk to myself that this house help my sister cannot do it. As long as they are paying me and I'm paying her school fees in the village, whenever she finish she can come and stay with me, but I cannot allow her to do house help.
Are you living on your own?
No, ma.
You're living in the house where you're
Yes,
working.
ma. Yes, ma.
How long have you been there? How many places have you worked in Lagos?
I can't count, ma, because yeah, I stayed in Agege for 3 years. I stayed in I stayed in oh my God, Igbo land, that is um
Enugu, have you on
Enugu.
nature?
Yes,
Have
ma.
you on nature? Have
Yes,
you
ma.
which one? Yes.
Enugu, ma. So I stayed with that woman. That woman is an Indian woman. I stayed there and I was going to
In
school with her.
Enugu
Yes.
with an Indian woman.
She's half caste.
You stayed there for how long?
For 3 years too.
3 years.
So I went to school there with her in her place before I left.
How old were you when you went to Enugu?
I was 15, ma.
15. You said you how many years now?
I'm 23, ma.
23 minus 15 is how many years? Hmm? 8 years.
Yes.
You said you have been in Lagos for 7 years. And you said you worked there for 3 years. So how did you work there for 3 years and you now worked in Lagos for 7 years and you are now 23 and you were 15 there? I hope you know that this
Ma,
office will not
no,
entertain
I might
lies.
not say everything together. I
You
didn't,
manage
yes,
what?
on the place I stay in Enugu with Agege together, making the 7 years. I might not say
Enugu and
everything.
Lagos are they the same place?
They are not the same, ma.
I asked you when did you come to Lagos? You said 7 years ago. And before you came to Lagos, you have been to Enugu, you spent 3 years there. So
Yes.
3 years plus 7 years, that is 10 years. So since 10 years you have been working hard self work. Then if you minus 10 years for 23, you were 13 years when you started working as a household.
Yes, ma.
Huh?
Yes, ma, I was 30. That was when my mom left me.
Where were you people living when your mom died?
I was in a village, ma.
Which village?
Cross River State, Ugoja.
Okay, your intention, you are the one that brought your sister from the village.
Yes, ma.
How did you get to know Mr. Francis?
Mr. Francis, I grew up with them when I was with my dad. That time
Eh?
I grew up with them. He's working
Today,
with my
Esther, mind
father.
yourself. Otherwise, I'll block you. Don't tell me what to do here. Don't tell me what to do if you don't want me to take you off from my page. Go ahead.
Mr. Francis is working with my father when I were little were children.
Yeah.
So he grew up with them, with my dad. He's working with him. Before he left, he has his own house to live. He left him.
Hmm.
So I did not know that is Mr. Francis. When I came to Lagos last 2 years, and I found Mr. Francis. He's the one that told me the story, but I didn't remember because I was a baby then. So
Mm-hmm.
he told me he knows me and he knows my father and he narrates everything to me. That is when I take him as my uncle, as a
Okay.
family, and he started giving me work since last year. He started giving me housework. So that is when I thought of bringing my sister with him because I like he's my uncle. So I will not have any problem with him and he can help me out with my sister. So that is I didn't know that this can take me to another thing.
So Mr. Francis have been with your father
Yes, ma.
when you were young.
Yes, ma.
Is it the same village? Yeah.
Yes, ma.
The
The
same
same
village.
compound. Yes, ma. The same compound. We're living in the same compound.
You know where he's living here now.
Yes, ma.
Did he have a wife
Yes, ma. And three children.
and three children
Yes, ma.
in the same compound?
Yes, ma.
When you first brought your sister, where was she staying?
She was staying in his house. In his house in Ayobo.
Is it Mr. Francis that got you a job
Yes, ma. It's Mr. Francis.
where
He's
you were
an agent
working?
also. Yes, ma.
Okay, be sincere to and to yourself.
Yes, ma.
Do you understand me?
Yes, ma.
I know why I'm asking you a question. I'm not a novice in all this housemaid, house help, and all that. Because one, either you get a better offer for your sister and you want to retrieve her from where she's staying. Because you cannot just say your sister should come and stay with Mr. Francis. When you came to Lagos, were you schooling when you came to meet Mr. Francis?
I was not schooling, ma.
He brought you to Lagos
Yes, ma.
to come, I mean, as a to be engaged in house help because you started that already from the east when you were 13 years.
Yes, ma.
So when you were 13 years, you were 16 years when you came to meet Mr. Francis.
No, ma. I wasn't 16 years old. I
You
is
said you worked there for 3 years. Don't
I
confuse
work.
yourself. You work in Enugu for 3 years, right?
Yes, ma. I
And
work
he
there.
brought you to
No,
Lagos.
it's me that came. It's not Mr. Francis that brought me.
So you came to Lagos when
Yes,
you were 16 years.
yes, ma.
Eh?
Yes, ma. That I work in Agege. That was when I was
Who
16.
contacted you? Who did you come to meet in Lagos when you came to Lagos?
It was my auntie. When my mom died, he
Yes.
said that she has been hearing complain about me, so she doesn't want me to stay in the village because girls nowadays they will get pregnant. So she's afraid of me getting pregnant. That is why she came to Lagos village to bring me to Lagos and give me to the other agent before I met Mr. Francis. He gave me to his name is Mr. Sunday. Mr.
Mm,
Sunday Ayobo. She hand over me to the man. So that is when I know the man and I started staying with that Indian woman.
mm.
Yes, ma. I started staying with that
Grace,
Indian.
correct all those things you are writing there.
I started staying with
The
the
caption and all those things. Go ahead.
I started staying with the Indian woman. That is when they transfer her to Enugu. So that is when I stayed with her in Enugu for 3 years before I went back to the village. And the last place that I went, it was Agege. I stayed with that woman for 3 years as well. So the last place that I started working now is Mr. Francis place. Ma.
You've worked in Lagos before you went to Enugu.
Yes, ma. That is when they transferred the woman to Enugu. I was with her in Lagos before they
Okay.
transferred her to Enugu.
Okay. So when you called your sister, was she schooling in the village when you called her?
Yes, ma. She was schooling. She was in SS1.
So why did you not move her from there when she was already schooling? Who was sponsoring her?
It was me. Ma.
Eh?
It was me.
Okay, if you were the ones sponsoring her when she was in the village, why did you bring her to Lagos?
Because
Because she was already schooling and you were paying her school fees. Why did you not bring her to Lagos if not for house help uh, job?
no, ma. It's not a self job. Like I said, I took this Mr. Francis as a uncle. So I thought the man can help me out because yeah, I called him and I complained that this my auntie has been calling me complaining of my sister that she's not doing well.
So
So
you
me,
want
I
her
am
close to
afraid.
you.
Yes, I'm afraid she'll get pregnant like other girls of
O-
her age. So
Okay.
I don't want her to get pregnant. That's why I said let me bring her next to me so that I'll be going to visit her every single time, and she'll be going to school there. But I didn't know Mr. Francis would betray me and sign her off as a house girl.
Okay, when you brought her to Lagos,
Yes, ma'am.
how often did you see her? Or were you seeing her before they signed her out for as a
I
house help?
saw her once because Mr. Francis told me that she'll be staying with a woman and going to school.
Okay,
So
which woman?
the woman, that is what she said the woman is staying in Lekki.
Hey, but you are aware that she was coming to do herself, my sister. You no, 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 no. Don't shake it. You listen to me. Is the woman related to you?
No ma.
If you bring your sister to come and stay with me, I'm not related to you. I'm not your brother's wife. I'm not your auntie. And she's coming to stay with me. And so that the woman will be paying her school fees, so you will be paying her school fees.
The woman.
The woman will be paying her school fees.
Yes.
As what? As her daughter, as her relatives, or somebody should just choose to help on her own. You're not talking to a child. Mr. Francis will ask you to bring your 16-year sister to Lagos to come and be staying with a woman, and the woman, and she'll be going to school from there. Which woman? The woman is not related to you. She's not your auntie. She's not your father's wife. She's not your sister. She's not related to you in any way. Did you communicate with the woman? What? Why is my sister coming to stay with you? You call your sister 16 years girl to come and stay with you, to come to Lagos and stay with Mr. Francis, and she'll be schooling from Mr. Francis house. But the same you said Mr. Francis told you bring the girl, she'll be staying with a woman in Lekki and she'll be going to school. As if you've not communicated with the woman, and you don't know what your sister is doing in the woman's house.
I've not communicated with the woman now. I
Okay,
have never
is it not
communicated
you
with
now
her.
that brought your sister to Lagos?
Yes, my brother.
And you are aware why your sister was coming to Lagos? You are aware? You are aware your sister was coming for her health job? Yes, that is it. You are very, very aware that your sister was coming for a house help work. Same way you left, or same way you are working at 13 years, now you are 23, and you started 23, 13 years till now, you are still working. So you have no reason whatsoever to bring your sister from the village for any reason, for whatever cheap excuses you are giving. She was already schooling them. Okay, your auntie is complaining about her. Then you now brought her to Lagos. And you brought her to Lagos to come and stay with Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis said she'll be staying with one woman and she'll be going to school from there. How?
Ma, he took her first before he started calling me and telling me she's with the woman. I didn't know that he's going
Who
to take
sent
her.
transport to your sister in the village?
I am the one because
So when your sister was coming to Lagos, did you go to pick her from the
it's
car?
Mr. Francis me.
So
Because
Mr.
my
Francis,
madam did not allow me to go out at that point.
yeah,
He was
the
busy.
first time you saw your sister when she was with Mr. Francis, what was your discussion with your sister?
She said she's going to school. And Mr. Francis said I should leave her with
Hmm?
him. Mr. Francis, he
Hmm.
said, is it school that she's going? Okay, she's going to school. Fine. Let her stay with him to be
Mm-hmm.
going to school. Then when I left, that is when Mr. Francis called me that he has taken her because I stayed for 3 days. I did not hear my sister's voice. I have to call Mr. Francis and say, I want to
Did
talk to
your
my
sister
sister.
have phone?
No, ma. I have to call Mr. Francis that I've not heard from my sister for 3 days. Can I talk to her? He said they are taking her to Lekki to do what? He said that I should not worry, the girl will be fine there, that she's going to school. Okay, I now said that okay, fine. Since the girl will be going to school, okay, I don't have anything to do. I stayed 1 week. I did not hear from him. So I called him and said, I want to talk to the woman that my sister is staying with. He said I cannot talk to her, that I should wait for 1 month. Okay, I was patient. I stayed for 1 month. The same thing. I didn't hear from her. I said, what's going on? You said I should stay for 1 month. Now 1 month have reached. I want to talk to her.
Did
He
you
said
talk to
no.
the woman?
No ma, he gave me the wrong number. I told him to give me the woman's number. He gave me wrong number. The number is not going till today. I even chat the woman on WhatsApp. It's not going. It's not showing as if there is somebody online. So I have to wait for my off day. That was last month. He completed 2 months. I went to his house, and he told me that he's going to take me to the woman's place. When I went there, he refused to take me there. I don't know what was going on. Maybe I don't know what is going on, ma. Maybe he's collecting the woman. He has signed the girl for herself for 1 year, and be taking the money, or is taking the girl salary, that make me not to see my sister. So that is why I told him that I don't want to do this game again. This is not what we plan at all. Our plan is for her to come to school in her place.
Thank God you call it a game. Game is a game. Game don't have two what is it called? Explanation or what? You don't want to. Will you buy the phone? I want to see it when I come out. Yes, I want to see it when I come out. You
So
hold on. Thank God you call it a game. So there is a fishing deal between you and Mr. Francis. For sure, you are aware, no matter how you play the innocence in your statement, which is not coordinated and straight, no matter how you do your face and all that, you brought your sister to Lagos for a house help. And while she's working, probably you think she'll be working and she'll be schooling. There is nothing wrong if somebody is working and also schooling, because she's still underage. But engaging her in a house help which you don't even know, if the person is just keeping her at, okay, stay with me, I want to be responsible for your school, without discussing any amount of money that have to do with salary, meaning she's assisting your sister education, and your sister is also assisting her domestically, because there's no way you stay with somebody, the person will be paying your bills, buying you clothes, feeding you, going to school, that you cannot pick broom and sweep the person compound or sweep the person's house or wash plates or anything of such that have to do with have to do with domestication. So if your sister is in Lagos and Mr. Francis cannot grant you access to talk to your sister, it's wrong. You should be talking to your sister to know how she's feeling. One. Two, if your discussion or your agreement with Mr. Francis is to bring your sister to Lagos and give her to somebody that will be paying for her school fees while she's there helping the person as well, then it's something that both of you should know, and you know where your sister is living. Three, if you discuss with Mr. Francis, yes, I'll bring her to Lagos, but wherever she's going to work that they'll be paying her, she have to go to school, even if it's government school, but she have to be given that chance to be going to school, so that she will not lose her education because of financial poor financial background. That I can understand. But to say you bring your sister to Lagos because your aunty is complaining and you brought her to Mr. Francis to come and stay, Mr. Francis now tell you he's going to stay with one woman and she'll be schooling just like that, we need to call Mr. Francis. She's supposed to be here today and they have to be here. Or wherever the child is, you go and bring the child first. Please give me the phone. Office phone. The customer you're calling is busy. Please try again later. The customer you're calling is busy. Please try again later. Dear customer, the customer you're calling is busy. Please try again later. The customer you're calling is busy. Please try again. call this man to do? As if it's it.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Francis. Good morning. You said what? I can't hear what you are saying.
I said you wanted to call you, but they never bring that from your friend or cash.
You send me card.
I said I went for cash, but I wanted to call, but I sent for cash. That is all.
Okay, listen, you are speaking to Mrs. Olushola from the Office of the Human Rights Defender and Access to Justice.
Yes, ma'am.
You were sent an invitation. You are supposed to be in this office today. Why were you not here?
I told him, ma'am. Even they call me that. Even I did come. Even that was my wife called me to the bring later. But I'm not there, ma'am. Even if I come there, I will bring the result of everything. Come back. Result.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
You said what?
I said, really, my wife told me that they bring paper. They bring the
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, I just come. Even if I come first, I'll bring a result of my
What is the name of your sister?
Righteous.
Even I never take come. So when they come here, I'll be looking for cash. I try to make a pick up. So, not that.
Where is this girl, Ruth's younger sister, Righteous, that she brought to
And
you?
that.
Where is she?
That is right. Yeah, they don't call it back so that you talk.
No, you don't need to call me back. I just want to ask you, is she alive?
But it's not like they get, but even now, I don't get, you know, I went to
No.
America, in America. So now, I don't send the system. I don't get it. So I don't explain everything there. Let me tell any problem.
Hold on. Just respond to me. Is that girl alive? Yes or no?
Yeah, the girl is there. Let happen to the girl.
Bring that girl to our office to avoid any problem between
Yeah,
you. Hold on. You listen to me, sir. Listen to me. We need you to bring that girl to our office on Tuesday next week by 12 o'clock.
No problem. I'll bring that.
Please. We need
Even
to.
because of this, even because of this, the father is coming also. Because I'm here, I do this, we don't have any problem. Because of
Hold
this,
on. Can you listen to me? Can you listen to me? That girl must not be given to anybody, not even her father. As you go there, listen to me, sir. Come with that girl, that 16 years girl, bring her to our office next week Tuesday by 12 noon. If the father is coming to Lagos, let the father come to our office. Whoever that is coming to Lagos in respect, today is already Thursday. Today is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday because you said you are not feeling fine. So bring the girl to our office next week Tuesday by 12 noon.
No problem, I'll try my best.
So by Tuesday, 12 noon, take excuse from where you are working and you have to be here that time. And you should be able to meet your sister that day. Then any other thing, you start off from there. And don't go and communicate with Francis to go and take your sister behind this office. If we did not see you, even you, we will arrest you. If we did not see you next week Tuesday here, we will arrest you. The only way we will resolve this case amicably is to have your sister back in this office. If you want to return her to your village, if you want to hand over her to your father and anything, every arrangement has to go from this office. So that if anybody that want to stay with her and well, okay, I want this girl to stay with me, I'll be paying her school fees. Let her stay with me and let her be schooling. If the family agreed with that, the person will sign, fill proper paper that this girl is in her custody or his custody and the child will be going to school. If your father cannot afford her education. Do you hear me?
Yes.
That is the only way. So by Tuesday, next week, 12 noon, you can be here.
Thank you so much.
Well,
Okay. Am I free to go now?
yes.
Thank you.
All right. Network have been so slow, and we can't do otherwise because we can't provide ourselves network. Thank you for being with us. We'll be back in a moment. All right. Soso White, Precious Tonia Omokoro. Thank you for sharing the page and the case. Remembrance. Thank you, Sheila. All right. That reminds me. The topic we'll be discussing this weekend. I just hope. What is his name? I've been waiting for him to probably to chat me up on this topic we discussed a few days ago, which we'll still be posting it out. We'll just hope to either discuss it tomorrow or Saturday, precise to be precise, where others will be at home to have the case resolved and also have your opinion in the house, so that those that are directly involved will learn from your advice and also your opinion. Good. We'll have a couple who are facing some issues as regards to um, marriage between their adopted son and their daughter. The man in question is over 70 and the woman in question is over also 60. In her early 60s, they were both married but having challenges of having giving birth. In that process, they adopted a male child, and the male child grew up with them. And thereafter, God answered the prayer of the young woman, and she gave birth to a girl child. And the girl herself grew up in the same house. They are both graduates, and the two of them fell in love, and they are planning to wed. They're planning to marry. The woman ran to our office crying, which of course in a situation like that we cannot show her face. Last weekend she was in the office if we can handle the case so that she can learn from your opinion, your advice and our own advice. She if she is at the edge of losing her marriage or taking her life. We have been on that, advising her, talking to her on daily basis. Are you of the opinion? Are you in support that the adopted son and the girl child, they are free to marry, that they are not biological siblings, or you disagree that these two uh, supposed siblings are not to marry because they are related, or they grew up, or they have anything that have to do with tradition, culture, that they are not supposed to be permitted to marry. The one of the party, which is the father, is in support of the marriage, but the woman who is the mother of them is not in support of the marriage. If you are in, please you let us know, and if you are out, you let us know. So the topic will be coming up, and the line will be open for you guys to put call across to the house. Go and buy enough credit, share it, and I'm still going to talk about it briefly. We share it. It will be on Saturday, to be precise. We had somebody that volunteered to be in the house live, but since the person did not communicate via the WhatsApp line we gave to him, then I believe we're not going to have the person live here. We will only going to talk and discuss on our usual page, and it's still going to be connected to. We're still going to stream, that is from the Ready to Marry and YouTube as well. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel on Access to Justice TV. Follow and like on our TikTok, Palace Gist and Access Center for Justice, sorry, Palace Gist and Center for Justice. Center for Justice and Palace Gist and YouTube channel is where we discuss, ask questions that have to do with visa process as we discuss. This page, we're not going to talk anything about that here. Thank you. You can drop that and statement. So most constant, if you can't drop it and go out. All right, reserved all your comments, reserved all your suggestions, reserved all your advice till Saturday. But please go and load your card so that we will not dwell much on text messages and all that. If you call in, I believe she will hear you, because it's not everybody that will have time and go and be reading your comments from their phone and all that. But it counts, but please be available that day. Thank you.